So here is a demonstration of my BeanAnimal system. I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on and let's just see how the overflow works. But at the moment I'd just like to point out that the system is running. So the return pump is taking water out of the sump, pushing it through the return line, sending it up and then back through. It's coming up over the wall of the sump here, filling up this overflow box, where mostly a siphon draws all the water through this closest drain line, through this clear tube and down into the sump. Some very small quantity of water trickles through the second drain here, and then the third drain serves as a backup. And if those of you that are familiar with the BeanAnimal overflow will notice that the second drain has an air line which is presently open, but if the water level rises high enough to cut off the air to that particular pipe, it will turn the second backup drain into a siphon drain, much like this first one, and it will be able to pull a lot more volume of water. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug on this, and when I do, you'll see the water level here drop while the water level in the box drops as the siphon starts to draw air, and then the whole system will kick off. So let me go ahead and pull the plug here and see what happens. The pump is off now. The siphon is still pulling water. Now it's going to draw air. You can see all sorts of air falling through that line. And the water level continues to drop because the returns are under the water level. And as soon as those start pulling air, the water level will stop dropping.
I want Mommy.
Okay, honey. You want to go see Mommy? Okay. Alright, so those siphons were pulling water and pushing it down through the pump and back into the sump. And as soon as this stops, you'll see that I still have about an inch of water which I could take into the sump in case I have any issues. So now that the system is completely off, let me turn it back on. So let me tell you what you're going to see. The pump is going to push water up through the return line, start to fill the tank. The water level is going to rise until it clears the glass. It will spill in here. The first two downturned elbows are both going to be taking large volumes of both air and water, which you will be able to see in these pipes. And then very suddenly, in about 30 to 45 seconds, this pipe will convert into a siphon, and it will happen pretty fast. And then when this converts into a siphon, the water level in the box will lower to the point where only a tiny bit of water is falling through this second drain. And then the system will be all set. So let's turn that on. Okay, water's filling up, and as soon as the water level rises above the inlets, it'll turn quiet for us. Water will start to spill over the edge of the glass almost at the same time. So here comes the water over the edge. And then it will start to raise the level of water in the box. And as soon as it gets to the height of this joint, water will start to fall through both the first and second drains. So here comes the water. And in just a few moments, the air will get purged from this line. Say hi, AJ. Alright, I think we're just about ready here. Alright, most of the water, mostly this is water now. A little bit of air still purging. And now, this is all water. There's no more air in this line. And the second line is slowly working its way back down into a trickle. Hi, sweetheart. Come here, honey. And now, everything is tuned up. That will continue to slow to a slow trickle over the course of a couple of minutes until it almost completely stops there in that second drain. And you notice that that third one is completely dry. There's no water in it whatsoever. So I don't know how good this camera is going to listen, but there is absolutely no sound from the overflow. Absolutely none at all. And there is a tiny bit of sound of trickling coming from this baffle in my sump. I'm going to have to find a way to fix that because I don't want to be hearing much noise from the system. But overall, it's pretty quiet. I'm pretty happy with it. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.